There's about 45 crores that comes, it's the primary that comes into the company. We have given an exit, partial exit to our private equity partner, Fairwinds. So they are post-listing, they'll have about 7% and about 3% the promoters monetizing.
So also talking about the financials of the company, can you give us an idea about how has the company ended FY17? What are the kind of numbers which the company has seen?
FY17 we should close the year top line of around 2,300 crores. That's up about 15% from last year's 2,000 crores. The retail business should be around 1,000 approximately, maybe anywhere between 980 to 1,000. And I think we have done pretty well on the EBITDA margins. I think should be at about 6.5%. And PAT is as per our targets, we are achieving the figures.
Also, sir, talking about the top line for Shankara products, the last 3 financials here, if you remove FY17, the growth has been in single digits. Yeah. What is the kind of improvement that we can see on this particular, on the top line front?
Actually, you have to understand there's a rationale behind why we did not push for rapid growth in the last 3 years, because there was a considerable reallocation of the kind of businesses that we are doing. So we have a legacy business of the channel and the enterprise, which we, particularly the channel, which we have slowed down, which came down from around 40% 3 years ago to down to about 20% now. So that is, there was a definite slowdown in that part. But our retail business continued to grow at 30% in the same period. So that is what I would look at a more relevant figure. So we have been rejigging the business and the various verticals that we have.
Also, sir, if I'm not wrong, you have about 100 retail outlets by the name Shankara Buildpro, which are spread across 10 states. What is the kind of retail contribution to the top line today, and what is the expansion on the retail front and the investment earmarked for the same for the next 2 years?
Yeah, the retail is the focus of the company. We are looking at substantial growth as we have been growing in the last few years in the retail business. We hope to double the store count over the next 4 years. By 2021, today we probably will close the year at around 110 stores. We hope that we will be adding about 15 to 20 stores every year.
Also, sir, talking about one of the major investors, Fairwinds, in 2011, if I'm not wrong, they had invested about 80 crores in the company, and they had an option to invest another 20 crores in the next 2 years, something which wasn't exercised by the company, and in fact, they're diluting the stake through this particular IPO. So any particular reason why a major investor is exiting the company?
See, they are a private equity player. Every fund, their fund has a life, which is coming out. So I think it's part of their business exigencies that, you know, they need to give we need to give them an exit, and they need to give a dividend and a reward to their, their investors and their fund people. So I think it's part of a natural process.
So also the company received the SEBI approval for this particular IPO in December, but the IPO is getting introduced again in April. So any specific reason for the delay?
No, the SEBI approval came in mid-December, no doubt.
Right.
And I think it's just a preparatory time, and the draft hearing was filed. I think we've been pretty much on track.
So also, if you can tell us something about your third-party partnerships, which are the partners which Shankara Build Products has at the moment today, and which are the future partnerships which you're exploring?
I think we've got partnerships with a number of companies across various areas of building materials. So if you look at steel, we are partnered with JSW, we've got SR, tubes, we've got APL Apollo, we are with Jindal Tubes. If you look at plastic tanks, we are with Syntex Tanks. Tiles, we are with Johnson Somani, with Parryware. We have partnerships with Century for plywoods, Berger for paints. So there are a number of companies across the spectrum, and as we go forward and add, deepen the product offerings, I guess there'll be more and more partnerships that will come in.
Okay, that is a listing which any management would